Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Parashat Pointers. I want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, successful new year. We have Parashat Vayelech coming up in this unbelievable Shabbat Shuba. And Baruch Hashem was really inspired by a very beautiful collection of ideas. I just want to share it with you. I was reading the Parasha actually this morning in Vayelech. And the pasuk is harrowing. It's so scary. It says, "V'hara api bo bayom ahu." Hashem's anger will flare up against them, and I will abandon them and hide my countenance from them. There shall be ready prey, and many evils and troubles shall befall them. They shall say on that day, surely it is that because Hashem is not in our midst, and all the evils have befallen us. You read this pasuk, which talks about what happens when we abandon Hashem, and when we leave the fold of Torah and mitzvot. It's actually the scariest thing. How could it be? Hashem leaves us? It was painful just to read the words. He's going to hide from us? How can we live a moment without Hashem with us? Just writing these words gave me an unbelievable feeling of abandonment and vulnerability. Thankfully, though, we just don't read the pasuk on our own. We have the great rabbis that explain to us, namely Rashi. The great Rashi. Rashi, by the way, his name was Rav Shlomo Yitzchaki. And he lived in France, and he wrote a commentary on all the Torah and all the Talmud. He lived in the year 1040 to 1105. Anyway, Rashi writes a small comment right on this pasuk, right where it says abandoning, and he says, it's as though I do not see them in their distress. It's not that Hashem doesn't see what's going on and feel our pain and see us and then watching us. He just makes it like it. He doesn't see it, which is very important. So don't ever think that Hashem has abandoned us. No. It only may seem that way at times when troubles befall us. But in actuality, those things, those times, those moments of feeling Hashem's not taking care of me are really there to motivate us to get closer to Him. And that's all Hashem wants. In Parashat Nitzavim, Moshe Rabbeinu tells the people, Atem Nitzavim Hayom. We just read it last week. And Rashi over there also says, Moshe Rabbeinu said, you heard all those curses in the Parasha before. Don't worry, you're still here. Aren't you just fine? Everything's great. You're good. You made it through. Obviously, it's okay. The commentators are puzzled. I don't understand. Hashem mentions, I think, 147 curses. They're shaking in their boots. Moshe says, you'll be fine. Look, you're here now. It's not such a big deal. Then what's the point of scaring them if you're going to just take the rug out of that whole feeling? And the answer that I saw is that Moshe Rabbeinu said the whole purpose is just for you guys to wake up. And if you woke up and you got the message, then it's okay now. Now you gotta build. I don't want you to be paralyzed by fear. Hashem just wants you to come close and to make changes in your life. If you got the message, say you don't really need to hear about those curses anymore. Rabbi David Sutton spoke on Rosh Hashanah. My wife told me about it. And he said something so beautiful. He said, thunder comes and it scares people. It really does. It puts shivers down your spine. But what happens right after the thunder? There's a little lightning, and then comes the rain, the blessing. Because Hashem is only trying to teach us something. That when I bring that, it's the same thing like the shofar. When I blow that shofar, when you hear that sound, it's just to get you to realize I want to be close to you. I want you to recognize that I'm running the world. And then I want to bring you all the blessing. The shofar is only a means to the end. The thunder is only a means to the end. It's not an end in itself. To sit there in that fear and wallow in that feeling of helplessness. No, it's supposed to be a vehicle to get you to grow. Children tend to see the Torah and the mitzvot through the lens of punishment and fear. If you ask a teenager what the purpose of Shabbat is, he's going to tell you what they cannot do and the punishments that come through transgression. But we need to explain to take them past that initial fear. Of course, the boundaries and the fear are important to start. We got to know what we're dealing with, but you got to get deeper. You know, the word in Hebrew for sin is het, but it's really not a proper translation. Het really means a void. When we don't do the right thing, we create a void in our relationship with Hashem. Mitzvah comes from a lashon of sivita, connection. When we make a connection through the mitzvot, we're getting connected back to Hashem. In fact, it's more than that. Hashem is always waiting for us with open arms. Just come back. I want that connection with you. No matter what a Jew does, Hashem wants us. He'll never abandon us. He's just trying to initiate that feeling that we want to come back to Him. I heard an amazing story told of a young man who went to Israel to learn by the Ger Hasidim. The rabbi was called the Beis Yisrael. And this rabbi, by the Beis Yisrael, is the 5th Ger Rabbi, Rabbi Yisrael Alter. Ger is a city in Poland. There was Hasidim, and they had a whole movement. They're still around today. Baruch Hashem. There's huge communities of Ger Hasidim. And there was a boy. He came to Israel, and when he got there to the yeshiva, he got into the wrong crowd, did the wrong thing. He did not grow. He went on the wrong path. And now it's time to go back to America. And he goes to the Kotel. It's like the middle of the night. And guess who he sees there? The Beis Yisrael, the Ger Rebbe. He's like, I can't believe I'm seeing him. He got scared, but at the same time, he's like, oh, this could be a great opportunity. Let me go see him. The Ger Rebbe sees him, takes him by his shirt and says, God never laughs at a Yid, meaning a Jew. And he just throws him back and he moves on. This boy was like confused. And he's like just thinking, what in the world? I don't know. Now he's walking back. And he's getting ready to go back. And he sees the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the yeshiva, the Ger Rebbe's brother, is in his house with the light on. He goes in. He says, like, can I ask you a question? This just happened with your brother, the Ger Rebbe. Could you explain to me what he was telling me? He goes, let me tell you something. I'm the Rosh Yeshiva. I'm the head of the yeshiva. If a boy does something wrong, he comes to me and he says, look, I did this, isn't I tell him, listen, you got to stop doing that. It's wrong. If you do that, I have to kick you out of the yeshiva. You can't do that in our yeshiva. He says, okay, I'm not going to do it again. The next day, same thing. He does the same thing and he starts crying. Please give me another chance. Okay, I'll give you another chance. No problem. The next day, he does it again. I'm like, that's it. It's over. I can't. And now his parents call. People call. Can him in. Let him give him. Okay, I give him another chance. The next day, again. And then again. At a certain point, I'm just going to laugh at him. Like, are you kidding me? It's like a joke. Hashem doesn't do that. Hashem doesn't laugh. You don't come back to Him? He's not laughing. He's happy that you're here. And He's going to take you right back. That's what the Ger Rebbe was saying. No matter what you've done, Hashem always wants you. We should all be zocheh to come closer to our Father in heaven. We should inspire our children to realize how much Hashem loves us. And in that merit, they will live a life of closeness to Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.